Hi everybody, it's Dr. Sasheen and welcome back to Women in Transition. This little brief video is about what is your penthouse? I put out a short. No more Gen Exhalations, but the shorts are still gonna come. They're just gonna be a bit longer, a little more introspective, much more aspirational in terms of just, you'll get the content when you get it. But I put out this short, and in it I said there's no guilt in enjoying life from the penthouse. And the reason I put it out is because the conversation about what to do in this period of your life is probably couched in a lot of no. A lot of you can't, that's not possible, why would you want to? Sorry, if my tongue is really red, which I feel like it is, it's because I've been eating sour cherries. They're like one of the little few candies that I actually like in the world. Anyway, we have gnats. So it got me thinking about the ways in which we confine each other's dreams to our own box, to a very small confined box. And we do it because to allow someone else to dream bigger than the moment means that we might lose them. And because we fear that we might lose them, we're looking for ways to hem them in. But I want you to think about what your penthouse is. So I found it interesting that the word penthouse seemed to be the pushback. Penthouse and passport seems to be the pushback for a lot of things. And I'll get to the passport piece in a minute. But when I put that out there, my thought processes wasn't just the view from the top, but what is the life that elevates you? That's really the question. What is the life that elevates you to the place where you want to be? Your penthouse could be the garden. It could be a chalet in the south of France. It could be a farm in Ecuador. It could be a farm in Arkansas. It could be a small business on Main Street in Paris or New York City. The penthouse is that place where your peace has become non-negotiable and your life reflects your joy. And I think it's so interesting that when I say things like the air is better on the move, get your passport, or there is no guilt in living your life from the penthouse. The view from the penthouse is fantastic. Instead of people saying, well, it might not be the penthouse or the passport, but she's not wrong. Like, there's a version of my life that I want to be living that I'm not, either because I don't know that I can, I don't know how to do it, I'm not sure if it will be accepted, and I don't want to be lonely. I don't know how to finance it. I don't know how to do it, whatever the case may be. But yes, I want it. And so I'm talking to you if it's, yes, I want it, but I just don't know how. Because here's the thing I get. One of the reasons I don't do a ton of live on YouTube, I'm going to get back to it. But one of the reasons that I don't is because I get a lot of trolling, and I don't mind the trolling so much. But in the live, I don't have a moderator, so it can be really difficult to moderate the comments and do the live. I'm a one-woman shop on that part right now. So, but the conversation about what your life could look like isn't just aspirational. It can't be, because real revolution is action. And a lot of us at this age, between 45 and 60, are in a period of our life where we've reached aspirations. Like, we have lives that many are aspiring to get to. We're looking for our next chapter. We're looking for what's next for us. And so when I put these posts out, I am talking to you to say, here's what's next for you. What is it that you should be doing now that 90 days is going to make a significant difference in the space that you currently occupy? And even though I get the pushback, and I hear the pushback, but I'm sorry, there are enough people out there pushing back and naysaying, y'all don't need me to do it too. Especially because we're on this journey together. I see my life shifting in significant ways. This channel is allowing that to happen. Some other things going on are allowing that to happen. And if I only keep looking at my life from this view, then I'm not going to see that the world looks vastly different depending on which part of the table that you're eating from. And I don't know if you've been following me long enough, but if you haven't, I like to say, quoting the great Auntie Mame from the movie, life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. And to paraphrase and to add my own phrasing, I hate starving. If you can't tell, I like to eat. So it is important, and I think it would behoove a lot of us to get out of our hackles when someone mentions an aspiration that they have that doesn't fit our narrative of what life should look like, and instead ask ourselves, why does that bother me? Why does it bother me that she's talking about the view from the penthouse? Why does it bother me that she's saying, Black women, get your passports, and if you can, get dual citizenship? And if you have to spend 3, 5, 7 months in another country to get that citizenship or residency, then go live there for 3, 5, 7 months. Because 300,000 jobs may have been lost, and a significant portion of those jobs in this country are Black women. But a lot of us still have jobs, and we're still working, and we're still making money. I often say, and I'm going to keep saying, that the things that are happening are not going to hit us all equally. The women who lost their jobs, frantic, upset, not happy, but they're not ill prepared, because a lot of Black women understand we're always the first to go. Even when we are carrying the weight, we'll still get cut. Even when we carried the load, somehow our performance is going to get called into question first. And if we can't prove that we're worthy, we're going to get the axe. And even if we can prove that we're worthy, we could still get the axe a heck of a lot faster than our counterparts. So yeah, I'm encouraging those women, the 300,000 women, don't go back to looking for a way to work your way back into the workforce, unless you have to. I get it. But even if you do have to, I want you to think about how you can do that from a beach in Bora Bora. How you can allow yourself to have lunch in Da Nang, Vietnam, and then go back to your apartment. I follow a lot of channels of Black women who have expatriated to other countries and work and live. And don't go there and colonize, because that's not what we do. We are masters of understanding our surroundings and blending in seamlessly to make a good life for ourselves. I want that for all women, Black, brown, white. I want it for all the women, but I'm talking to Black women because we are being disproportionately impacted by the policies that are coming down the turnpike. Yes, we are. And so I'm going to keep talking about leaving the guilt behind and enjoying life from the penthouse, because just as I said, yes, things are impacting us. Yes, people are impacting, people's lives are being impacted in certain ways. There are also women who are buying houses and cars, who are getting dual citizenship in places like Benin. Hello, Sierra. And Simone Biles. Did I tell y'all that Simone Biles, the GOAT herself, responded to one of my posts on Threads? I'm telling you, you just can't talk to me. Anyway, the point is, what is your penthouse? Like I said, maybe it's not the rarefied air of the 38th floor, but maybe it is stamps in your passport. Maybe your penthouse is business class tickets every time you fly. Maybe your penthouse is a writing retreat or a room dedicated to becoming the author that you've been putting off becoming because you had to worry about whether or not the orange one was going to cut your job. Maybe your penthouse is a year-long sabbatical where you can just be and breathe and read. Maybe your penthouse is opening an animal sanctuary. Maybe your penthouse is taking private flying lessons and learning how to fly your own planes. The guilt that you feel because you want to live from your penthouse is given to you by somebody else, and probably a lot of somebody else's. The guilt that you feel about collecting those passport stamps, what should I do? Should I go? What's going to happen if I do? What will I come back home to? This world is on fire in some very important ways. And in some other ways, it is not. Mother Nature is talking, politics are talking, everybody's talking. But there are places where people are just living. Not because they do not care, but because their lives aren't structured around the house on fire. At least not anymore. And because it's not, and they're moving in ways that allows them to not have their house on fire, they're not walking around like their house is on fire. My best friend lives in Canada. She's not walking around like her house is on fire. Do they have their own issues in Canada? Absolutely. But they're not walking around like their house is on fire like I am here in the States. Sure not. Not at all. So, what is your penthouse? What puts you in the rarefied space of peace? What do you think about and go, I have the resources, I have the skill sets, I have the know-how, the knowledge, I have everything I need to do that, to view life from that perspective. I'm just afraid to do it. What is that thing for you? If you didn't get into my Life Reimagined workshop the first time, the second one is coming. For those of you who attended the first one, thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback. I've tightened some things up and I'm excited about the second one. The second one is coming August 9th. From 11 to noon Central Standard Time via Zoom. You do have to get on the waiting list and you have to sign up for it. I'll drop the link in the bio. There's no waiting list this time. I'll drop the link in the description. If you are ready for a process in which you can sink into and figure out what your penthouse is and then go for that penthouse, I'm the one that you need to talk to. If you're not there yet, absolutely. This is probably not the workshop for you. Because the questions that I want you to answer are going to ask you to do something with the information and to think about your life without guilt and shame, to think about the process of getting to your peace and whom you may have to leave behind in that process may scare you. It may not be something that you're ready to do or even that you feel like that you can do yet. But for someone out there, it is time to reimagine life on your terms. Because I'm going to tell you, the first time I ever stayed in a penthouse suite was in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, of all places. I got to stay at the resort there, which is beautiful, by the way. It might be militia country, but it is gorgeous. Gorgeous up there. And I was very blessed to stay in the penthouse suite of the resort there. And I realized that all that came with that, it shifted something in my brain. Because by that point, I had flown first class before, so my brain had already shifted a little bit. I had had access to certain little luxuries, like not big ones yet, but little luxuries that had turned my brain a little more on, because that's what our experiences do, right? They turn our brain a little more on. And then I got to stay in this penthouse suite. And for a lot of people, staying in the penthouse is whatever. I don't really care about that. A hotel room's a hotel room. But it is the experience of being in a certain space with people who are also in that space that you don't get until you get there. But once you get there and you realize what comes with being in that space, then you don't want to leave. You don't want to go back to the room on the, 12th floor. Especially when there's a floating hot tub off the side of the building and it's yours, right? When there's a pool on your on your floor. I'm thinking about some apartments that I'm got my eye on someplace. When you have experienced parts of life that speak to what you value and who you are, maybe not right now, but you'd really like to become that person, it starts to be difficult to stay boxed in. So I want you to think about, what is your penthouse? What is the place that if you could go there or be that person, you would do it because it brings you that much joy and that much peace. You just aren't there yet. Answer that question for me in the comments. Let me know what your penthouse is. What is that place that the air smells the sweetest? And if you could spend the rest of your life there, you would do it. All right, it's Dr. Sasheen. Thank you for tuning in. Hit like, subscribe, and share. And again, if you want to get into the Life Reimagined workshop, it's August the 9th. There will be a replay for 48 hours. Seating is going to be limited to 15 people, but the doors are open, and I hope that I will see you all there. Have a good one.